Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa, but my friends call me Melly. So, in this podcast, we're gonna call me Melly. So, I'm Melly. Um, yeah, well, welcome to my podcast. Welcome to Genuinely Her podcast, a podcast where we will be talking about pretty much anything or everything. Um, from healing to childhood traumas to relationships, dating, career development, career changes, self development. We'll be talking about pretty much anything, just life overall. So I'll just kind of introduce myself a little bit. Like I said, my name is Melly. I'm 27 years old. I'm from California. I am Latina Hispanic. And I do not have kids, but I do have a dog. So it's a little Maltese poodle. But yeah, I'm a dog girl. Sorry, but if you're a cat person, no offense, but dogs are better. Okay, so I honestly, I'm just gonna jump right into it. This is literally like my third try. This is my third try on recording my first ever episode for this podcast. Let's say that the first one, I ended up posting it a week ago, but I don't think it I don't think it was like the vibe that I wanted for that podcast. So I kind of unposted or unpublished it. But it's okay, it's okay. I can just start over, do a new episode. And this time I kind of want to put more of my personality out there. And yeah, the second try, I literally just recorded it like not too long ago, like literally a few minutes ago. And oh my god, girl. Let's just say I feel like I stuttered a lot and I could have edited it, but I am going to edit it and see if I like it. But I don't think I put a lot of my personality out there. I feel like I was still kind of just like in my shell, kind of like, oh my god, I don't want to get out. Like, I'm scared. But you see, the whole point of my podcast is I don't want to show that in my podcast. I'm doing this podcast because I want to send a message to anyone who may have similar experiences as to what I experienced. I just I guess in a way, I kind of want to help that girl who is just like in her shell, just to herself. She doesn't know how to use her voice. She doesn't know like the exact words. She doesn't know how to stand up for herself. She doesn't know how to be authentically herself. Why? Because I used to be that girl, or I still currently am. But I would say I'm a lot better now. I feel like I'm more confident with myself. I feel like I'm more social. I'm more outgoing. I feel like I'm just more grown. And a lot of people have mentioned that. Like, you seem different. You look like you've changed. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing something great. I really do want to change for the better. And I really hope that in this podcast I could find my voice with you guys. I could share my experiences with you guys. I could help you guys. Rather that be like healing, we could heal together. Or if that's just trying to find the right words or just finding your authentic self, speaking up, or just finding your voice in general, using your voice to express yourself in any possible way that you can think of. I really do want to kind of be that person to just put myself out there and just maybe it could inspire someone. I grew up never having a role model. I never grew up having a mentor. I'm sorry. I grew up never having a mentor. I grew up never having a role model. I didn't look up to anybody. I didn't have anybody to look up to. And in a way, I feel like I had to do a lot of things on my own. I feel like that affected me a lot because I didn't know certain things that I feel like I should have known my whole life, and it's because nobody ever showed me, nobody ever taught me. I didn't have that like role model figure to kind of guide me to a lot of things in life related. So in a way, I feel like I did a lot of stuff on my own. I feel like I had to pick up my own little pieces and kind of just figure out life just by myself. And honestly, I don't think that's really fair in my part. In a way, it felt very lonely. I felt super alone. I felt like I didn't matter. I felt like, and I still feel that way. I'm really working through it. I'm putting myself out there. I'm doing things that I've never experienced before. I never thought I would ever do things like that before. But I really do want change. And I remember seeing this quote, and it really spoke to me. It really stood out to me in just the most amazing like that light bulb moment where it like just lights up, or reality check. Oh my god, such a such an eye-opening experience. The quote that I saw, it said, if you want something you've never had, you have to do something that you've never done. Oh my god, that I felt that. I freaking felt that. Ever since then, I've just I that was like the moment when I'm like, Millie, that's it. The lifestyle that I want, the person that I want to become, obviously I've never had that. And why? I, I I've never been out of my comfort zone. I have to do things that I've never done before in order for me to get what I want that I've never had, if that makes any sense. So I really am doing a lot right now. I really am doing a lot of healing. I'm doing a lot of inner work. And for my whole life, I've done all that healing, all that breakthroughs, all those mental breakdowns, all of the crying, all of the misery, all of the comfort. I literally had to do that all by myself. I had to comfort myself. I don't have a family who can comfort me. I don't have a home. I mean I have a house. I live with my family. But there's a difference from living in the house with people who you're biologically related to versus having a home with a family. I never felt like I truly had a home and I truly have a family. And wow, that's that kind of like hits me when I say that out loud. I have a house, but I don't feel like I have a home. And I don't feel like this is a safe space. And it really sucks to feel that way because tend to make you feel super, super alone. And I don't want to feel alone. This is me literally looking for my community. This is me literally looking for my people so I don't feel alone ever again. And it sucks to feel alone, it really does. And I really hope you guys don't ever feel alone. I feel like we all deserve to have a safe space, to have a home, not just a house, not just living with people who we're related to, but to have an actual place to call home with people who you can call your true family. I'm literally thinking about this movie. It's a Disney movie. I don't know if you guys like Disney. It's called Lilo and Stitch. That's literally my movie growing up. I'm Lilo. Let me say that again. I'm Lilo. And I had, or I still have, a broken family. But I never felt like I had my Ohana. Never felt like I had those people who, for example, Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind. I've always felt left behind. Always. And it sucks. Sucks to feel that way. Especially at this age, in my late 20s. When yeah, like, I don't think I should be feeling this way. I think I should really, like, grow out of it. The thing is, I really do want to grow out of all that, and I really do want to break those generational curses, or to feel like I can call this place home, and I can call them my Ohana. But I don't know how to. I don't know how to start with that. And it's also, I feel like the people I live with, the people I'm related to, I feel like they don't know how to be an Ohana. I don't think they understand that. And it's sad because, it really affected me my whole life. It affected me emotionally, it affected me mentally, it affected me in work, my work career, my relationships with coworkers, my relationships with managers, or it affected me with relationships like with friends. It affected me with friendships. It affected me in my romantic relationships. It affected me now with my work, with what I do now. It's just that it's a domino effect. It affected me in so many aspects, in so many areas in my life. And this is literally the end of it, because I don't want to feel that way ever again. I want to feel like I have my Ohana. And I want to feel like I have a home. And I don't want to feel alone. We don't deserve to feel alone. We deserve to feel wanted, to feel valued, to feel loved. If you've ever felt like you just don't belong, or you feel lost, or you're looking for your people, for your community, for your Ohana or your people or your community is out there. There are the right people for everybody. There's the right person, the right partner, the right friends, the right chosen family. I know I am meant to meet my chosen family someday, and I cannot wait to meet them. I have such a hard time finding my voice. I have such a hard time finding the right words and kind of just putting it all together in a way where somebody will understand me. I feel like I'm never understood. I'm never heard, and I'm never seen. I've recently started setting boundaries. I've recently started cutting off people who are just not for my well being. And honestly, I felt so great after that. I feel like I'm in line within the path that I'm supposed to be on. And that's going to take me to so many amazing places in life, career wise, family wise, or just my hopes and wishes, whatever I want to manifest in my life. It's going to allow me to attract the right people, the right friends. I was so scared to set boundaries because I didn't know how to set boundaries. I didn't know what boundaries were. And I would let people just walk all over me. I literally felt like a doormat, and everybody would just walk all over me. And I didn't have the voice or the right words because I didn't know how to speak up. Or I was just so afraid to speak up because I'm afraid of other people's reactions. Not very much of what they would think of me, but how they would react. If I were to speak up and say, hey, I don't like that, can you stop? I always get these weird, like, dirty faces from other people whenever I just about any time when I try to just speak up. And I guess that just kind of makes me feel like I'm not heard. It makes me feel like I've said something wrong, and it makes me feel like I'm the bad guy here. When in reality, I've always felt so small and I felt like I can't speak up. I feel like it's something that you have to learn, and I feel like you learn that at a very early age. When you're, I don't know, when you're with your family, your parents, the way that they react to what you gotta say to them, that is going to affect you in the long run. Whenever I would say something to my mom and dad, tell them, hey, like, no, that's not right. I don't like that. Whenever I would disagree with them, whenever I would just stand by my own word and just stand up for myself and for what I believe in, they would literally gaslight me, yell at me, or tell me that that's not right, that I'm wrong. And that continued on throughout my whole life. That continued in school with other kids and teachers. That continued through work, my career, with coworkers or customers or managers. That continued in my friendships. That continued in my romantic relationships. And oh my God, I held in so much pain. I carried so much of that heavy, heavy pain that I just did not know how to let it out. I did not know how to, and I just didn't. I was just scared. I was scared. And that built up so much to the point where I cracked. I had so many like mental breakdowns and I just hated myself for it. I blamed myself for everything when really it's not my fault. I simply just did not know how to just have a voice. And you know what? That's okay if I didn't know. I didn't know a lot of things. I had to learn a lot of things on my own, and that took so long for me to learn a lot of things. It took so long. But here I am now. And I feel like I'm like the strongest person ever. And I give myself a lot of props for putting myself out there like how I am right now with this podcast. I give myself a lot of props for setting boundaries now with people, with friends, family, or partners, potential partners. I give myself a lot of props for just being so patient with myself. Yeah, I would say that I guess I'm proud of myself, and that makes me really happy. I never say stuff like I'm proud of myself. I never say that. I do give myself props, and I'm proud of that. Like I said, if you ever feel this way, give yourself props for getting to where you are right now, for being patient with yourself, for sticking up for yourself, for standing by your own beliefs, for doing things for you in your own way. Be proud of yourself. And like I said, you will attract the right people. You will attract that ahana towards you. That energy is like a magnet, and it will attract those right specific people. Trust me, it will. I know it will for me. And I'm so happy to have this podcast, and I'm excited to have you guys in this journey. I'm excited. I hope this helped. So we'll call this episode Being Proud of Yourself. Yeah, let's be proud of ourselves. Thank you so much for listening, you guys. I really appreciate you if you listened this far ahead. Do follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, genuinelyher.podcast. Thank you. We'll see you in the next episode.